other kids playing tag at recess. I was like in a corner, just like singing. I dropped something. It's fine.
Hey, I'm Karolina. I am a tech member. I am a senior at Curtis High School and I use they, them.
Hi, I'm Mirabai Kukathas. I am a singer-songwriter in Seattle, and I use she, her, and they, them pronouns.
So to start off, I was thinking we could start with a singing game because you are a singer-songwriter.
I am a singer-songwriter. Have I warmed up today? No. It's 4 p.m. I haven't had any water. Drink water, guys, at home. Don't do what I'm doing.
Okay, so the game's pretty simple. It's just song association. So I'm going to give you a word, and then you've got roughly 10 seconds to come up with a song that's got the word in there somewhere.
Okay, I can do this.
Okay, first word is night.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. I don't know why I went Christmas Carol, but oh, holy night, I was listening to the Mariah Carey Christmas album yesterday because March is the best time for Christmas carols, in my opinion. It's like they're no longer being played, and now I miss them.
All right, second word, love.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only. O is for the only. I forget the melody for this? L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. E is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore can love. Is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just. They open the Parents Rap with that song, and that's the best part of the movie.
That's what I think of every time I hear that song, just like the scene on the boat. Third word, dream.
A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. In dreams you will lose your heartache. Whatever you wish for, you keep. I cannot remember if that's Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, or Snow White, but it's one of them.
Fourth word, forever.
All I can think of is Disney songs. I'm trying to think of something that's not a Disney song. Um, Screw it. For the first time in forever. So there's something. The window is open. So's that door. I don't know. I just know that hook. I've seen that movie like maybe twice, but Disney can get you. They hook you in.
Okay, next word, imagine.
I feel like I'm being so obvious, but imagine all the people living for today. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one. Y'all can come for me in the comments for going with the obvious choice, but I remember I watch these videos all the time of people doing like word association song games, and I'm always like, oh, that was so obvious. You could have gone for that. And then but when you're in the hot seat, it's like I cannot think of any song.
Honestly, it's better that you got something instead of just like sitting there blanking because you want something super niche.
I'm like, okay, think of like come on, indie brain work for me.
Here, hopefully this one helps you out with that. Heart.
Once again, Disney has got me with best song, but it's Phil Collins. You'll be in my heart. Yeah, you'll be in my heart from this day on, now and forever. I'm not getting these notes right. You'll be in my heart, no matter what they say. You'll be in my heart always. Tarzan, banging film, which I haven't seen since I was 7. So honestly, maybe don't take my word for that. But I remember it being very fun when I was 7.
He went in on that soundtrack. They were like, yeah, it's just, it's a little movie about Tarzan. And he was like, no, I'm going to give you a masterpiece.
I know, right? Like I have not watched Tarzan in years, but the Tarzan soundtrack on multiple playlists of mine.
All right, we got one final word. I don't know that we're going to have to count down on this one. Canary.
I'm a canary in a coal mine. I wanna fly away, but there's no air in this coal mine, but I will sing today, sing today. I wrote that one. That's my song.
Indeed. Could you tell us more about that song, what it means to you?
Yeah, well, it's like the first verse is pretty ridiculous. It's like literally about the time I watched a Subaru commercial with my mom, watching TV, and a car commercial comes on, and in the commercial there's this dog who, like, a family gets a dog and they get a car, and at the end of the commercial the dog is like really old and the car still looks great. And I was at the time I was really sick. I was on medically mandated vocal rest because I didn't know at the time, but I have an immune disorder that affects my esophagus, and so I couldn't sing without like intense vocal pain. And so just like everything was making me sad, and I just burst into tears at this car commercial. So I guess also like I couldn't sing, so I had sort of like lost music in my life in that way, because I kind of combine those experiences of like being very physically sensitive, of like losing my voice, being chronically ill, and then like being so emotionally sensitive that like even a dog being old in a car commercial can like make me sob for an hour. And I wrote a song about my physical and emotional sensitivity, and it's kind of like my way of getting back into music from another angle, because I couldn't sing but I could start songwriting. So it was sort of like me trying to teach myself songwriting in earnest. Being sensitive is also, it feels like a curse sometimes when it hits you at the wrong time, but it also is like a blessing, because like it allows you to be empathetic and to like heal and to be strong. And it's like a fun little ditty about birds, bird songs. I have a playlist where it's like songs with bird metaphors in them, uh, and I'm realizing that a lot of my songs have I like me a bird metaphor.
Canary is obviously one of the songs you've released, but there's a couple others that you've got out at this point, correct?
Yeah, so I currently have two other songs. I dropped Canary and Bellyache in late February of 2020, so they're just about a year old now. Bellyache is a sort of poppy, queer love song I wrote with a friend when I was another one of the earlier songs that I ever wrote. And the other song is called Candyland. It's like a folk fusiony song, I guess. Like I don't know what the other thing I'm fusing it with, but it's not like pure folk. It's folk plus. And it's like a sad song about candy, obviously, and also um self-destructive behavior, and I released that one in Christmas of 2020. It's actually the first official single off my album, which will be coming out later this year, hopefully it's a couple months. I will be having another single off that coming out fairly soon. I haven't officially announced it yet, but like spoiler guys, there will be another single.
Can you tell us more about the album? Like if there's a theme behind it or if you got a title? Anything, really.
Yeah, so the album is called Songs to the Monster Under My Bed, and it's a collection of songs that are like an exploration on fear and how fear has played a role in my life. Spoiler alert, it's a big one. Fear and I go way back. We are really close. Some of the songs are about triumphing over fear, some of them are about succumbing to fear, some of them are like about the fear when you really like someone, your stomach is all achy and you're like, oh, I'm nervous, and some of them are about like crippling anxiety and, chronic illness and pain and like families and trauma and all that, like, maybe technically worse stuff than like Pretty Girl Doesn't Like You Back. Debatably though. I've recorded it all remotely, like in my basement, because ye old pandemic happened, and that kind of sucks. But I have a producer who I work with and a bassist, and I have friends who play drums and guitar, and we just sort of like, I call them and I'm like, hello friend, I love you very much, will you please, if I send you like scratch vocals, would you please put on some, drums or some bass for this song for me? And they go, yes I will, Mirabai. And I say, thank you very much. And then they send it to me, and then I Zoom call with my producer and we mix it in like that. Just definitely not how I made music pre-pandemic, but it's working pretty well.
You've mentioned a little bit here how the pandemic has affected the recording process. Has that impacted your art at all?
Oh yeah. I mean, at this point, everyone I know has a song that is either called Quarantine or has the word quarantine in the song. And I've managed to not have a song called Quarantine or have the word quarantine in it, but I've written so many songs that are like so clearly about the pandemic, or at least like about its effects on me. I will say that like I hate like putting positive spins on the pandemic of being like, honestly, it's the best. It's because it hasn't been good. It's been bad. However, I've probably written more songs than I ever have in my life because what else is there to do? I'm just like stuck here with all my feelings. And so a lot of music is coming out of it. Even songs aren't explicitly about the pandemic. You can really like feel the I guess the isolation and the loneliness. I like making music collaboratively. I like to jam with my friends and make music.
On that note, if we wanted to listen to your music, what platforms could we find that on?
All of them. I'm talking Spotify. I'm talking Apple Music. I'm talking Bandcamp. You can even find me on Napster if you're living in 1998. I think it's everywhere. It's on SoundCloud. So whether you have like a paid music service or you just like to stream things for not paying for your music, and honestly, good for you. You can find me. You can buy my music on iTunes and Bandcamp, literally wherever. My name is very long and very unique. So if you look up my name, you will find my music.
So I see in the notes here that you are writing an opera.
Yeah, kind of. I'm doing this like program fellowship thing with the Seattle Opera. I applied for it a while ago and I did not think I was going to get it, but I did. They're having people ages 18 to 30 co-write operas in like two people pairs. They're dividing people up into librettists or like playwrights and like writing the script and composers who are doing the music. And other than music, I've been playwriting since I was 14. And I guess like in the past couple years though, I've been doing so much with my music that I've kind of left playwriting to the wind. I've sort of stopped doing it so much. And then I found this opportunity with the Seattle Opera and I thought, well, I could an opera is like a combination of a play and a song. I can do that. So I applied and I got it and I've been teamed up with a really lovely local composer. And I just actually last week when this is being filmed finished writing my libretto, so the script for the opera, and I passed it on to my partner and they're working on the composition for it, which I will hopefully be able to help with a little bit. But it's a short piece that is an exploration of the American healthcare system as told by woodland animals. The main character is a canary because I have one good idea and I decided to run with it, who is like a representation of pain and chronic illness, who goes through the forest and asks different animals who represent different aspects of the healthcare system for help, and they basically exploit her for their own benefit. And she dies. Spoiler alert. But it's gonna be a fun, sad, depressing opera.
What does your creative process look like?
A great question. What is my creative process like? I feel like once I figure that out, I'll be able to create much more efficiently because I'll be like, I'll just do the creative process that I do. It's different every time, but usually with music, I start with like a line or a concept. It's sort of a combination of like I'll have an experience that I want to write about, but usually it comes down to I think of a central metaphor or an idea. Like with canary, I was like, oh, I'm so sensitive physically and emotionally, and then I thought, oh, canaries are this um they are like an animal that is known for being sensitive. I basically my first step is finding my central driving metaphor for my song, and then usually a melodic or lyrical line will come to me, and then I write that down and then I stare at it for a couple hours, and then I think what rhymes with that, where does that melodic line go, and then I open a document and I start typing out lyrics and I sing as I type. So I usually write melodies while I'm writing lyrics. I just like have my little idea and I'm like, okay, well, where does this go next? And I think the best thing is like if you can fall in love with an idea, you're set.
I relate to that. I have like a notes app on my phone that's just like these would make good song titles. I don't know what the songs are about though.
I wish I had like a more like refined process. I could like tell you where it's like, well, I'd have one cup of coffee and then I write one verse and then I, get my guitar and I arrange it and it's very professional and organized and then I take a 5 minute break and then no.
Who are your inspirations?
Oh, well, I'm gonna be a real cheese ball and say my mom. She's like the coolest and best person in the world and that I've ever met. I was really sick as a kid, and because I had another autoimmune disorder, then I'm just queen of autoimmune disorders. Uh, and my mom was like, she like sacrificed so much to take care of me and to like advocate for me in the healthcare system and to just like love me. And um, I'm never gonna be able to repay that. She's the smartest person I've ever met. She's um, she's the kindest person I've ever met. She's just the coolest person in the whole world. So my mom is my biggest inspiration. Musically, Joan Baez, Joni Mitchell, Pete Seeger, um, all those lovely folky folks. I feel like my biggest musical inspirations aren't honestly like these big superstars. They're like other young people in the local scene. Zozier, Grafton Downs from Skidmark, Kid Effecto, Cirrus Levine from Greenhorn Riot. Who else? I'm thinking of so many cool local artists. King Shime, Mr. Dinkles, Talea. Um, oh, so many cool people. Gray Violet. Like, if you're watching this, check out those people. Very cool local artists. And like those people are my inspirations. Like my family, my friends, like my local scene, like those are the people I want to be like when I grow up. Like, love Janelle Monáe, love Lady Gaga, love these big, cool, awesome, like superstars, but I want to be like my friends and my family.
What's one part about art you wish to change?
A part of art that I would change. You could have like a whole like year-long discussion on like what is the human perception of art and what about that is good and what about that isn't. But that sounds suspiciously like philosophy to me. And I don't know. I've taken too many philosophy classes in my life. I would like to be exempt.
In that case, what would be the theme song to your life?
Well, uh, I think, all right. So I love the Muppets, and first, I guess I can't get through anything without telling people that I love the Muppets. So, I think Rainbow Connection is sort of um, like the song that my friends all associate with me. Rainbow Connection, or like maybe you want something a little more upbeat. Don't Stop Me Now by Queen. It's one of the songs where it's like, can I be sad when I listen to this? Like, maybe I can't be. Like, maybe this is the biggest like. It just makes you happy. It's just such a fun song.
What would you do if you knew that you couldn't fail?
When you're a young person and you're an artist, you spend a lot of time being like, well, here's the time I'll put into my art, and here's the time I'll put into other things that I need for my life. If I knew I couldn't fail at like all my artistic endeavors, I would put all my time and all my effort and, just if I knew I couldn't fail, I would just like be like, well, I guess I'm gonna be a world famous singer. I'm gonna single-handedly bring folk music back. Also, I would jump out of an airplane if I couldn't fail, because then I would fly. I would.
That is a great answer. I love that.
It's like I've always wanted to fly, and it's like if I couldn't fail at anything, I would try to fly. I don't know. It's like if I couldn't fail at anything, I would like try to bring back alchemy and like turn lead into gold, right? Because if you can't fail at anything, and then I can fund my art's passions, and exactly, you got to think outside the box. So flying, alchemy, music, and um, yeah, that.
We are getting dangerously close to philosophy again.
Oh no.
We've circled back around. So, a central theme that we've been talking about this year in TAC is mindfulness. How does mindfulness play into the art you create?
So I write music about myself, and I think that that requires me to be very in tune with who I am and what I believe, and most of all, how I feel. And I think sometimes that is like the opposite of meditative. It's like just digging into your psyche and peeling back all of these layers, insert Shrek reference here, to like you can yield some really beautiful art, but it can feel kind of destructive. And then there are other times when it feels really healing, when it feels like you are centering yourself on like these constants of your person that you like know and believe in. And there are times when I feel like I need to be mindful and center myself after I make art because it felt really emotionally grueling and exhausting. And there are other times when creating art in and of itself feels centering, and I feel very like mindful and of who I am and what I believe, and things feel like they're being put into perspective by creating art. And then I meditate sometimes when I remember to, as I should do it more.
Really thoughtful answer, thank you. This is a segment of the Tacoma Art Museum's Teen Art Council's Project Art Eyes. Our mission is to reach out to artists in the PNW community and talk to them specifically about mindfulness, which has been a central tenet of our work this year at TAC. We also do opens every third Thursday of every month. The Discord link should always be in our bio. Please feel free to stop by. We talk about mindfulness, we talk about art, we make art, we have some general long-winded conversations that go off on a million tangents. It's really fun. We hopefully bring people into the art museum and into the art world, so please stop by. You can follow us on Instagram at TamTeens or the art museum as a whole on Instagram at Tacoma Art Museum.
So you can follow me on Instagram at mirabai.kukathas or on Twitter at Mirabai Kukathas, or you can go to my website, mirabaikukathas.com. I post like blog posts, and you can find like cool pictures and videos and all my music and fun, cool stuff. I designed it myself, and I'm very proud of it, even though it looks kind of cheesy, but you can go look at that. You can find me on YouTube at my name, Mirabai Kukathas. My name is very no one else has it. I will bet you $5 that you can't find another person with my name. I bet that to every person in the audience. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna owe a lot of money to a lot of people, but I'm pretty easy to find. I'm really grateful for being here and for you talking to me for this time. And please listen to my songs. I get like an eighth of a penny per stream, so help me collect that coin. And yeah, I'm just really grateful to be here and to get to answer these questions and have a nice fun afternoon.
I'm Karolina. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. This is a lot of fun.